Hello, Kevin here and Sue, and we are at Southwell Workhouse. Let me just show you a quick map of what we've got here. And this is National Trust, and we've just spoken to a gentleman, and he said we are walking the path that the paupers would have had to have taken. They weren't allowed to walk up the main central path, which is just over to our right hand side where those picnic tables are. So it just sounds awful to me that is how the people were treated, because they were poor, not necessarily their fault. Fall on hard times and things like that, but that's what they've said. They had a certain footpath they had to walk, so and that's what we're doing now. We're walking the paupers footpath.
Sounds about right
for us. So yeah, so that's what Sue thinks of us. We're paupers, but anyway. We have got a map. We did inquire if videoing etc. was allowed, and he said he didn't think there was any restrictions whatsoever. So he said you could just check when you get up to the house. But this is the workhouse in front of us. Look at the size of this place. And it's on, I think he said it's on 2 floors, but it looks as if it's actually 3 floors. But we've got the gardens laid out in front of us here. We've got rhubarb, yes, all sorts there. Look like black currants, are they? Are they black currants? Don't know, can't read that. Yeah, they are. And they're all nicely in bud. So it looks like they're going to get some nice fruits off of there. And we will get some photographs of the building. And evidently, I think he said you can pick up a scanner, was it? Or something, and it gives you descriptions, or audio descriptions, I'm assuming, as you walk round. We've got more rhubarb in front of us. This is called Royal Albert. But very nicely laid out borders here and beds. So we're inside the infirmary now. Nightingale and hospitals. There's a sign here that says layers of history. You can read that on the top. Pauper inmates sat with the dying and took care of their body after death. Gosh. Just look at the amount of beds along there. Amazing, absolutely amazing. I've never been in a workhouse before, an infirmary, but even though it's as it is, it's still quite something to be in a place like this. You actually feel a little bit sad about it all. Look at these proper photographs. Look at this selection of photos taken between the 1940s and 1950s on the grounds of Minster View and Furbeck Infirmary. Gosh. And I thought these places were closed down long before the 1950s or even the 1940s. What I remember, my worst memory of it, we used to bath about 15 people in one night. Now everybody's got their own key worker. It was awful, like a sheep dip. The older women, they just used to dunk them in for 2 or 3 minutes. Took all evening virtually. The one who went first went to bed very early. There was no choice, no light, not like now. Catherine Scott, care assistant, 1974 to 1981. Gosh, this place was still going. It was still going then. That's unbelievable. It can't have been.
The secrets unknown, you get chilled to the bone, master and matriarch. Silky silverfish slinking along the night floor to eat the wallpaper. The silverfish all particularly liked yellow, so they made patterns. The patterns were beautiful, as they looked like lace patterns all over the walls. Beautiful they are, all silvery and smooth stations. Cover the wood door with this luminescence to make a nice home. Sneaky silverfish paid their own taxes, spending days in gloom. Maybe cracked and warm, but still shine bright and still for the home of people.
The butterfly wallpaper might make you feel free. The pink bathroom cheers you up on a sad day, and the silverfish won't eat it. Each room has a different personality. The stickers and wallpapers has its own story. The master and matron have their own private stairs and toilet. The other people wouldn't have their own space. When you come in the workhouse, you feel like you couldn't get out.
Good grief. This is quite something, I have to say. This is quite a moving place to be in. The workhouse, 20th century women and the workhouse timeline. So it looks like this started in 1824 and carried on right through, believe it or not, until the late 1980s. Winding down of elderly care at Greet. Good grief. I find it quite shocking, to be honest. Look, Family Allowance Act 1945. And this is how different things, different timelines of what different things changed. Look, 1909, the first old age pension paid. The National Insurance Act passed. Some workers are allowed unemployed benefits and sickness benefit is created, but it does not apply to wives and children. Gosh. Women in the workhouse. Victorian inmates. Workhouse inmates. I don't like that word. Wives were segregated from their husbands, mothers from the children. It's absolutely shocking. Oh, goodness me. Were the residents ill? They were just old and gone a bit confused, so they were all classed together. Could you tell if they had come from their own home or in an institution? Oh yes, you could tell. Institutionalised up at a said time, bed at a said time, medication at a said time. Those that had come from home plodded along. Did they want? Who fitted in better? Those who had been institutionalised. And that's an assistant officer in charge in the 1970s. Oh dear. It says there, I was starting school at 5 and they gave me this coat. I used to take it off and carry it because I thought it was a little boy's coat. Mary Croucher, a child resident in the 1920s. Goodness me.
Hello, my name's Andrew Norris and I'm standing in a wood in Croatia. If like me you've just enjoyed watching Kevin's latest video, do give him a thumbs up, and if you haven't, consider subscribing. In that way you'll be kept informed of every new video that Kevin uploads. Thank you.